Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play Control. This is Episode 2. So last time, Jessie became the director of the Bureau of Control, and then we rescued Dr. Darling, who is the main research scientist here, assistant. And now we have to cleanse the Hiss-corrupted agent, which I feel like we didn't actually find out how to do that last time. She just told us to go do that. Or is it just this one here? I can fix you. Or maybe kill you. I'm not really sure what happened there.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep.
Emily, that didn't work so well. The hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. The hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most noticeable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. These hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the hiss corruption like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons preparing to enter their next stage of evolution? When attacked, hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility, or undergoing a transformation into purely resonant form. Research is ongoing.
Ripping it out rips them apart.
So that's where that constant chanting is coming from then.
Jessie, over here. We need to make a plan, Jessie.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jessie.
I'm gonna tell
Even in
them I'm
cutscenes,
here.
the door just opens itself.
I'll risk it.
Listen, the Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago.
Really, the town was called
The
Ordinary?
Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us.
You mean the speaker taped to your
And
chest?
Director Trench would know.
Trench, the ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the Hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone, a direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience.
Or we could ask the
He
board
might
for
know how to
advice.
destroy the hiss.
Where is the Hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tommasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
Sounds like another mini-boss.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now.
The Red Room.
I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world.
I assume this is the
What
hotline we're
scared
looking
me
for.
shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
I mean, at least she doesn't have to worry about getting revenge. It's kind of already taken care of itself. So I guess we get these neat little chapter intros.
Don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions.
So it looks like we got something. You do not have any board countermeasures. Enter the communications department to find the hotline. Okay, we don't have any other missions right now.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated build...
I wonder if we can play those while we walk.
Is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the sign.
Oops.
The hotline should be in the communications department.
No, look, we can actually ask questions.
So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
Well, it seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations.
He's kind of a showy guy.
He just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
I have a feeling we're mostly going to see Darling through live-action little skits going on TV screens. Like, we've already saw that when we picked up the weapon.
Where did the hiss come from?
I'm not sure. You said the hiss was here when you entered. Did you see anything like that outside before you came in?
No, just inside.
The source is internal, then. See, the oldest house is a sprawling complex with openings to other places as well. I don't even know where to start looking. But in the context, it's good news. The lockdown holds. The hiss escaping the building would be the end. Pretty shitty world out there if you ask me, but I wouldn't want the hiss to destroy it.
With you on that, Emily.
I mean, there's not really much keeping it out the front door. That's just glass. But I guess there's more countermeasures in play than what we saw.
You mentioned the oldest house. What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. You've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times. How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us. The work we do here is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door.
Okay.
So, was this just here before they built New York City? And just no one could see it?
This trench guy. I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data. But that's just a hypothesis on my part.
I mean, we don't even know if this thing actually shoots bullets.
You better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah.
Also, if I touched it, it would probably either kill me or turn me into the new director.
Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics.
Never read the wiki, huh?
Objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the peri-utilitarian sense. Got it?
Did she memorize this?
Got it.
They really like all of their variations on paranormal without saying paranormal.
Thanks, Emily.
Like
I'm sure
para-utilitarian.
I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
I'm sure when I hit more plot points, more questions will appear. Alright, so we're in the boardroom. I guess we want to go north? Kind of really the only place we can go. Since we don't have any clearance yet, we can't just go through some of those doors we saw earlier. You guys have anything to say? Or are they just gonna hang out in here? Yeah, so we can fast travel from here, but we have to, I guess, find more control points around the building. Alright, so we're gonna want to go this way. I mean, your friend also does kind of point important things out. I imagine at some point we will actually get a tutorial on what these crafting materials make. Because I would assume we can make add-ons for the gun and ourselves. Piss off. Yeah, so we're gonna have to backtrack to rooms like this once I get some clearance. Okay. They have very sealed this door. Okay, that leads to a separate section. It looks like that might not actually open. Okay, we got some more hiss guys here. See, I guess there's not really much in the way of taking cover. You just kind of have to keep moving. I keep also hitting reload, which is actually just switch shoulder when you hit R. Weapon mod, damage boost. Okay. Cafeteria. Unsurprisingly, there are quite a few people here. Travel costs. Visited the following Nevada accommodations: Desert Sun Inn, Big Sky Motel, Starlight Motel, In and Out, Aztec Court, Sleepy Bear Motel, Silver Spurs Ranch, El Gato Blanco Inn, A+ Lodge. Oops. Accommodations, $831.29, meals, $714.84, gasoline, $295.12, and minibar, $313.61. I do wonder if a motel called the Ocean View is going to be found in a landlocked state, but hey, I guess I'm not paid to think, right? And for the record, I again request that you give us the budget to get 2 rooms each night. Agent Rowley and myself are very tired of sleeping in the same room. The boys in research said performing rituals may help identify any places of power. Drinking little whiskeys is my ritual. So they're trying to find, I guess, a altered world event hotel. Or I guess a place of power is what it would be. What's your job here? Guy with no jaw? So I didn't actually realize that at the time, but I guess when we first came out of the director's office and there was the red hallway, that's when the hiss tried to infect Jessie, and her friend saved her. Okay.
Yes, it's overpowering here. You don't
Too
want me
strong
anymore.
in that direction.
With you on that.
I really don't need to focus on headshots. Like, body shots work well enough on these guys. Like, the headshots do a lot more damage, but it also makes them stagger, which makes it harder to get follow-up hits. Oh, hello. Field research on Hiss entity, Hiss barrier. The Hiss resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. Hiss barriers appear as ways to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. 2 methods have been discovered for lowering them. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity, or destroy the Hiss entities in the area. Okay, so that was the red field we walked into. The resonance field seemed to require support for their size and density from other non-connected source of Hiss resonance. Without the ability to draw from these sources, the barrier will fall. Does an inactive structure made of Hiss resonance qualify as a conscious being? Does the distinction make any difference when considering the Hiss? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the Hiss? To what degree is it watching and planning? I need to bring up the inventory. So we did get a weapon mod, which is just 15% more damage. Seems pretty handy. Alright, so where can we go from here? We need to go up this way. But I want to see if we opened up anywhere else here. Found another bathroom. Due to recent fluctuations in the nearest control point, the area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. Green, stable. Yellow, low possibility of unanticipated building shifts. Orange, high likelihood of unanticipated building shifts. And red, frequent unanticipated building shifts. So I wonder if those are all going to be scripted, or if that'll just kind of happen as we get into further, more unstable areas. This cliche is da-da-da-da, is what it said. Havana, AWE 48. An auditory event occurred at the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of the diplomatic staff stationed there. Redacted deaths were reported and the outgoing information has been managed. Event response. Bureau agents arrived at the embassy on the same day as the event was reported through federal channels, but were too late to witness the AWE, which is reported to have been redacted. Staff experienced sudden, intense vibrations and noise, accompanied by an intense pressure in the ears. This lasted for redacted minutes. No visual phenomena was witnessed. The scene was cordoned off and the embassy staff were transported to the continental U.S. After Formula I.9 was recited in the vicinity, a single cowboy boot began to vibrate, identifying it as an altered item. This item was contained and brought to the Bureau for examination. Alright. Auditory assault cowboy boot. Is this the mold? I thought that might have killed this stuff. Well, kind of fucked myself here, because I don't have enough health to get back out. Boy, I really hope it didn't checkpoint when I opened that box. Okay, good. We're back at the control point. Hopefully that's not... like we didn't lose all the progress as well.
There it is again. A welcome message.
Oh, okay, we might have. Also, for a second there, yeah. Tommasi. We weren't getting a subtitle from him specifically before. it looks like we didn't lose progress. Enemies are still dead, collectibles are still collected. We just have to literally run back. Okay, so this barrier is still there.
Here. You don't want me anywhere near it. With you on that.
So I guess I got those crafting materials. The cost was just time. And here is the other bathroom. I think we've got everything in here now. Though I didn't check upstairs. No, we might not actually be able to get up there. Alright. Just keep going. Dead letters. I mean, this looks like it's especially hissy. But I guess that's the control point over there, where that beam is. Oh, something back here. Personal mod, health recovery. Mr. Governor, I called the police, but they never come to my house. I got a problem and you gotta send folk to fix it. I got my wife one of them singing fish on the walls. It's not a real fish. It sings when you hit a button. But it's got the devil in it. Flies around at night and sings devil songs. Says a lot of cuss words. The devil got in my house because of the fish and you gotta come handle it. My wife is real upset. When can you come? Sincerely, Dwayne Barr. I don't suppose the weapon has a flashlight mod. But we did get that health recovery, which might have some passive health regeneration. Okay, energy recovery speed or health recovery on element pickup. Okay, that just increases the health I get from drops. Reminder, drafting any public-facing material. Okay, that's the same one we picked up before. About scissors and Alaska. Probably should wait to see if I can get the power back on before I go searching for collectibles. Okay. It's one of the security guards with a shield. Shooting the shield doesn't actually do anything, though. Okay. Took down his shield. I think it's only 3 shots to the chest. Where'd the other one go? Sounds like there's still another one. But the music stopped. I thought Tommasi might show up. No, not done yet. So those guys were just functioning as repeaters until we got close. Okay. It's a much less fancy control point than the last one. Fixed it. Everything's good now.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes.
Okay, Dr. Darling's
Still
voice
alive,
actor.
friends of the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to
That's Alan
Soviet
Wake's voice
nukes.
actor there.
This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
We don't actually know how it works, though. It just kind of throws whatever it wants. So I guess I probably shouldn't exterminate all of the floating people.
Communications. We're on the right track.
We might be able to fix them someday. Machine God. Now we're getting into even more SCP territory. Okay. This is the letter I picked up earlier that I thought was just a repeat. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topic found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranatural world. The letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realize not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones will allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by the real people. Of course, I will first compile a system to allow us to analyze the letters for any information or suspected connection to AWEs and other altered material. But thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. Machine God. I had a dream, and I built the thing I saw in my dream. A machine that will contain God, but not the God you know, or the ones anyone knows. A new God. A broken God. The machine will be his body, his heart, and his mind. I made it just like the dream showed me. I used the motor from the refrigerator, and the coils from my toaster, and the fans, plus the timing belt for my car's engine, and the wheels for my son's skateboard. God can't move just yet, but the dream said he would learn how on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like a baby, but a machine is said. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me at the address on the envelope. My phone does not work anymore. I had to use the dialing plate on God. Build God, and then we'll talk. Okay, goes back the way it came. I don't really like this map. It's like all of the layers are smushed together. So it's just as disorienting as the actual building. Okay. I seem to have been trapped by an object of power, and now it's levitating around me. Truly a strange place. I can make it levitate above my head. Jessie's got some powers. We're just gonna pretend it's not there. Eventually it'll fall off. Book club. Oh, it's not automatically opening them now. Hello, avid readers. The Bureau Book Brunch, I want to say brunch, will convene at the usual spot in the corner table of the cafeteria at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Currently discussing Unless You by J.D. Brooks. Everyone should get the reviews to me by Monday before lunch so I can generate some conversation starters before the meeting. Happy reading! Oh, there it goes. I'm sorry, what was that? So they did mention the Bureau's own television show for kids.
What's wrong? My mom's dead. but I sure wish someone would find her.
I'll help you look, Topher.
A depressing show for all the children of Bureau personnel. Bet we'll be seeing more of those two. Alright, I think we've been almost everywhere now in this area. There's just so much to do, so much to see. It's gonna make me keep scrolling. Dead presidents. To whom it may concern, I am being contacted by the past presidents of the United States of America. They appear as spirit guides, giving me their wisdom. John Adams keeps saying I need to fix America, but I can't really understand him. They all have a lot of opinions. People tell me I'm imagining it, but Theodore Roosevelt showed me how to fix my lawnmower, and I don't know a thing about lawnmowers. Explain that. I have great dead men telling me about the past and the present. If you'd like me to use my abilities to help run the government, please let me know. I know the White House could use me. Yours in earnest, James Bartholomew. Well, he certainly can't do a worse job. Gotta get all these crafting materials. Shatter recoil efficiency. It kind of sounds like an ability I don't have yet. Alright, so to go forward, we want to go up here and then around. Communications department, I think I already looked in there. There's a locked door there, but did I look? Okay, that just leads back to the stairs. Alright, we're good. The director still has some pictures of himself up here. I guess we haven't replaced all of them. Welcome to the comms department. Please, don't bring dogs into the office. Some of us have allergies. Disappearing food in the refrigerator. It's weird that this apparently has the same sticky notes as the one we saw before. Almost like it's just a repeated texture. Man, they really like putting bathrooms everywhere, almost like they want it to feel like a real place, despite being a crazy, non-Euclidean structure. But only sometimes. Sometimes it's a perfectly normal structure. Internet usage rules. Internet is not for social media use. No FBC materials of any kind may be scanned or uploaded. FBC email addresses are for work-related correspondence only. Level 5 clearance is required to access internet. If a cubicle's black rock shell gets damaged, vacate it immediately and alert Mr. Tommasi. If you notice any text in your work that you do not recall writing, vacate your cubicle immediately and alert Mr. Tommasi. Do not connect internal comm devices to the network. Printer is for communications department use only. Altered items are forbidden in the cubicles. Notify security of any breaches immediately. They may require internal lockdown, where we just seal all the doors by hand. Oh, no, it's back the way we came. There's definitely a lot to explore. Hey, look, you're, well, I was going to say you're alive, but he appears to have been pneumatic. Okay, we're not getting to the mail room yet.
Object of power. Looks like the hiss have latched onto it. We need to cleanse it.
Is that the nuclear key? I have a feeling that might actually give us a new ability, since they did show off that you're going to have a bunch of telekinetic kind of powers in this. Book club notes for Penny. So I don't usually read a lot of sci-fi, but as far as space opera goes, this was alright. The title, Unless You, could refer to a bunch of things in the book, I guess, but I thought it was a little vague and stupid. The way the characters kept throwing it around, almost like a catchphrase, got real annoying real fast. The best part of the story was the space battle. I sided with the fixers, obviously, because they had the coolest tech and their motives made the most sense to me. Honestly, if I had to choose between some hoity-toity flowers and guns space hippies, or a badass bunch of warriors who go around devouring planets like cheap sushi on a Sunday, I know who I'm picking. That scene where they invade City Planet and convert the entire population using those brain worms, and that space dogfight between those two ace pilots, signed me the fuck up. What kind of ruined the whole thing for me was when my favorite character got killed not even halfway through the story, by getting a battery cylinder launched into his face by a gravitational anomaly. His death didn't feel necessary at all. Page 205. I think he brought that into the emergency shelter. Alright, let's fight this anomaly. What are the chances that the guy who just got killed by these flying pneumatic tubes was the guy who wrote that review? They still show up as blue even though they're very clearly dead. I don't suppose I can... I don't think she could really fit... Well, she could probably fit through there, but... not from a video game standpoint. Okay, apparently we just have to reach it. Well, it's not down here. Boy, those are landing pretty close to me. If only I had like a combat roll. Yep, there it is. We can't cleanse people, but we can cleanse objects.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the Bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not the director.
We've been dropped into a tutorial. Like how in Rage 2 they would drop you into a tutorial every time you got a new gun or ability. Okay, it says use launch, but it's, well, apparently it's just middle mouse. Alright, I like the general look of that. It's pretty snappy looking. You see it's a little slower for a heavy object. So now we actually do have a use for our energy meter. Launch align the cube thingamajig into the whole slot to advance. Score. Well, you know that's going to be fun to use in combination with our gun. Perhaps even more so. You can't just, like, do a quick shove. Did one of those say made-up news? I'm like trying to pay attention to the enemies. These guys are fake news. It does regenerate pretty quickly. So we can't really take cover, but I guess we can make cover if I were to pick up a large object and hover it in front of me. The hiss noise is burrowing into our astral plane, secret base. You must stop and mute them, Director.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off. I got it. Just like you wanted, right? This will help me fight this.
Oh boy. Now I am the one who can throw these friggin' cylinders. Oh, they're a little tougher than a regular human, though. Oh. Don't think a cardboard box is going to do much. Oh, that got them pretty good, the table. So I guess now we can pretty much throw anything that this little outline appears around. Which is interesting. I never played Quantum Break, so I never played any of the Remedy games where you have, like, a special ability. Unless you count pointing a flashlight real hard at something to be a special ability. But Alan Wake didn't really have much in the way of supernatural powers himself. Yeah, who needs guns when you can just pelt the shit out of people with everything in the environment? Hiss Demolition Expert. The Bureau only allows certain highly trained individuals to handle volatile materials and weaponry. Our demolition experts are instructed in the use of explosives in dimensions with distinct physical laws, making them important assets for engineering work as well as combat situations. Hiss Demolition Experts are the only observed Hiss variations to wield the specially built rocket-propelled grenade that is designed to identify and track redacted entities once fired, making them a threat whose termination should be prioritized in combat scenarios. I find it remarkable that the Hiss restrict usage of this weapon to the Bureau personnel who have trained specifically for its use. What does this tell us about its behavior? Can it not pass along new information to corrupted entities? Still too many unknowns. There was another one too, but I won't do two files back to back. But yeah, I do like this stuff with the board as well. Their weird, like, garbled transmission kind of way of speaking. And their uncertainty in terminology.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom.
See, I keep trying to just, like, click it so she'll immediately pull and then throw, but you have to hold it for a second. However, having that outline constantly pop up keeps making me think there's more to pick up. Are these all the dead letters? Just want to make sure there wasn't any sitting around that I would miss. How did you get back there? Do like a quick sprint through to see if I can find more of these circles. Which I'm sure I'm going to miss plenty of stuff throughout the game. Launch efficiency. Okay, so what do we got for mods now? Shatter recoil efficiency, exclusive to Shatter, which we don't have. I think that's probably going to be another gun form. And low health boost. Damage while on low health. And we've got energy plus 6, which is not really that useful. Energy recovery speed. Health recovery on element pickup, or launch energy cost minus 9. I think recovery speed is probably the best for now, because it can use launch more often. Tommasi Willow AWE outcome. National news sites have begun publishing the story of the polar bear attack on the Alaskan town. You all know I don't like to boast, but claiming that the family was killed by migrating polar bears desperate for food because their ecosystem is being ruined by global warming was a stroke of genius. Using current ecological concerns makes the public much less likely to redact it. So another AWE behind us, and the public is none the wiser. Well done, everyone. It was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. That doesn't mean we can stop monitoring redacted and redacted for any off-message opinions, but looking like we're in the clear. I guess that's why we're not supposed to mention Alaska. I just wish there wasn't so many corners I had to poke my head into to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so that door is locked. Oh, something important here. Clearance level 1.
This must open the door.
How come all the dead people who are actually dead just have no lower jaw? Their mouth has just been blown up. Hey, look, another control point. And there's nobody here to stop me. Okay, so that'll get us into that other door, but what's in the bathroom? Darkness, apparently. And a broom. I wonder what Ati is up to. He's still just sweeping the same spot at the front door. Okay, so this leads up... Oh, man. Oh, enemies. Just one demolitions guy. And... Oh, okay. Another clearance level 1 card. Does it actually... Oh. We didn't actually get this before. The object is an 8-inch diskette containing Soviet-era nuclear launch codes. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians to telekinetically lift material and throw it a short distance. The object is currently bound to Redacted for research purposes. Stolen from a Soviet military base located in Redacted by agents Redacted and Redacted with the CIA. The diskette contains launch codes to Redacted missiles, believed to be reserved for use against Redacted. After being returned to America, the diskette began throwing computational hardware at members of the decoding team. An informant in the CIA tipped the Bureau off, and it was requisitioned by agents the next day. So I guess they are not afraid to use these objects of power for Bureau purposes.
You're listening to America Overnight, mystifying the airwaves for more than 30 years. Thank you for staying up with us. Ghosts. We've had many callers over the years tell us of hauntings, voices, and other phantasmagorical phenomena. Today, friend of the show, Dr. Quincy Reagan, tells his story. Quincy.
Thanks. This is something I experienced recently while staying at the Chili Pines Motel in Maine.
Something really weird about her jump.
Suspicion common. I was in room
It's just very, like, springy.
The night manager, an avid listener of the program, insisted I take this particular room. Now, the manager explained that years back, the body of a man was discovered under the bed, inside that wooden border that motel beds tend to have. And the body had been there a week, he said. Guests had stayed there, sleeping with the 4 foot below him. The body when housekeepers complained about the smell. Hauntings have been reported in room 47 ever since. I happily took the room. I fell asleep pretty quick, checking under the bed first, of course. No ghosts visited me, no chilly spots or flickering lights. But when I woke up, I found myself under the bed. It was dark and stiflingly hot.
And I thought that was real weird.
I was able to push the mattress off and crawl out before I suffocated. The night manager was kind enough to find me another room.
There you have it, listeners. What we call ghosts take many forms.
So the bed was an object of power, where sometimes while laying on it, you will fall through.
And writing whenever you encounter something strange, something you can't explain. Maybe you're seeing colors that we have no name for.
Like a color out of space or something.
Remember, dear listeners, when no one else believes you, we do. America Overnight, we'll be right back.
I wonder if America Overnight is just another cover organization for the Bureau so they can home in on these objects. There's something about these reflection textures that look really horrible. Like, that just looks like static. But it's specifically just the reflective stuff. Most of the stuff in this game looks good. And, like, the character models look really good in cutscenes. They're, like, semi-in-engine cutscenes. Is this music? Oh. Thought that was the sound of enemies spawning, but it was just the door closing. Alright, so can't go anywhere else up here, right? This is just a hallway. Oh. Oh, it's just a radio. Alright. Can't go through there. Can we open this? Okay, we do have clearance for this. Marshal Lockdown distinctions. Pay attention, Alberto. This is the last time I'm explaining this. Internal lockdowns are manually triggered events that lock one or all of the sectors by restricting use of the sector elevator, effectively locking staff in their sector until the emergency is handled. They can only be lifted via the directional override in maintenance once the director is satisfied that the situation is under control. External lockdowns are a bigger deal. Nothing in or out of the whole building. It's only triggered by a code red containment breach based on some complicated system that security and research slapped together. It can only be lifted once A, the threat has been neutralized, and B, a high clearance individual gives the system the all clear. This process is not the same as the directorial override, so stop saying so in documentation. I know it's confusing as hell. I've told Darling 100 times to change it, but they're adamant it stays the way it is. Honestly, I don't think they even know how to change it at this point. Let's just make sure our staff understands how this mess all works, okay? Ah, yes, the mold. Once again, I don't think we can bull my way through here. So I probably need, like, what? Some kind of special gas mask before I can go through those areas. Okay, where does this lead? Well, it leads to... I guess these are literally the cubicles. Oh, hello, spawning enemy right behind me. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to use energy to hold an object. I am not doing hot on health. Oh, it's another Ranger First Class. There we go, that took down his shield. Seems like the size of the object really does affect their damage. Ooh. Like, those screens don't do a lot of damage. Also, he might just be more resistant because he's a special. I can kind of just stun lock him. distance might also affect how much damage it does. It seems like the farther they go, the more damage they do. Data breach. Confirmed data breach. Last month, our on-site server experienced an intrusion by unauthorized users. After a thorough investigation, it was confirmed that the users only accessed a video file, which contained portions of various Dr. Darling presentations. Investigators were able to track the users through their IP addresses. The following are the confirmed identity of these users: Patrick Strugens, Rubens Noguera, Arto Glomaki, Christopher Mills Bowling, Jacko Saarinen. These individuals are in breach of Bureau Code 91 and have been placed under surveillance by our external investigations team. Further action is pending. Wonder if how many of them work at Remedy. Shatter projectile boost. Well, we still don't have whatever shatter is. Whether it's a weapon or another power. So is this room a dead end? So that door's sealed entirely. And I don't think there's anything in any of these cubicles. Aside from these ancient computer things that are not apparently computers. Alright, well, let's go through the door it wants me to go through. Again, there are side quests in this game, but I guess we haven't really found anyone to give us many yet. Is that Tommasi?
They can fly now.
Floating.
Great.
Okay, he seems to be a boss. Okay, that was half my health. So he can dodge objects, but he can't dodge bullets. I thought maybe it was dependent on the size of the object. Like I could hit him with a smaller one, but... Okay, so he can dodge bullets too, but it's on a cooldown. Which means... Oh, damn, I can't one-handed shoot. Are those his pants flying from his back? Oh, we got regular hiss. Which is good, because I need health, so... God damn it. Oh, shit. That was not a lot of health. Oh, shit. Throwing exploding cylinders at me. I guess they can do that too. Alright, where are you at? Well, that's not actually who I was aiming for, but I don't know where that guard went. Should have waited until he was at objects. Alright, well, that might be a good place to close off if it drops us back at the control point here. Yeah, so we're back here, so I think we'll wait until next time to fight Tommasi, because we made some good progress this time. Got farther into the building, gained our first telekinetic ability, and now we have a boss to clear. So that we can get to the hotline. So, until next time, I've been Shadefyre, this has been Control, and I am having fun playing this. I especially like the telekinetic power, how it affects all of the physics objects now. I mean, you just total a room with these things, and that's pretty cool. Anyhow, take care, folks, and I hope you'll join me next time as we continue to investigate the Bureau of Control.